What if I told you there are simple 5-minute tractor tricks that can add 20 years to your machine's life? While most farmers are replacing $200,000 equipment every decade because they don't know these secrets. What I'm about to show you will save you tens of thousands in repair costs and prove that keeping tractors running forever is easier than you think. Hack number 1, the PTO shaft inspection ritual. At the top of our list sits a 5-minute daily inspection that prevents the PTO failures responsible for more tractor downtime, repair costs, and operator injuries than any other single component failure mode. This isn't just checking equipment before use. This is mechanical insurance that protects your entire drivetrain from catastrophic destruction that can cost more than most tractors are worth. Systematically examining PTO shafts, universal joints, safety shields, and spline connections before each day's work prevents the sudden failures that destroy transmissions, implement drives, and create deadly safety hazards when rotating components disintegrate under load. We're talking about power transmission systems operating under torque loads exceeding 1,000 foot-pounds that can literally tear apart entire drivetrains when worn components fail without warning. What makes PTO shaft inspection truly essential is how these power transmission components operate as the critical link between your tractor's engine and every implement you operate. When universal joints wear beyond safe limits, they don't just stop working gradually. They explode catastrophically, sending shock loads through systems designed for smooth power transfer rather than sudden impact forces that can crack transmission cases and destroy $15,000 worth of internal components in seconds. The inspection process is beautifully simple, but absolutely critical. Check for worn universal joint crosses, loose safety shields, damaged spline connections, and proper grease levels. Look for metal shavings, unusual wear patterns, or any play in joints that should operate smoothly. These warning signs appear weeks before catastrophic failure, giving you time to replace $50 universal joints instead of rebuilding entire transmissions. The economic impact is staggering. Daily PTO inspection prevents cascade failures that destroy not just the PTO system, but often require transmission rebuilds, implement repairs, and emergency field service calls that can cost $25,000 or more when failures occur during critical farming operations. The 5 minutes spent inspecting can literally save enough money to buy another tractor. The safety benefits are enormous. PTO failures kill and injure more farmers than almost any other equipment-related accident. Yet proper inspection prevents virtually all catastrophic PTO incidents by identifying problems before components reach failure point. This inspection ritual represents the difference between equipment that provides reliable service for decades and tractors that suffer devastating mechanical failures when preventable problems go unnoticed. Hack number 2, the fuel system purification protocol. Modern diesel injection systems operate at pressures exceeding 30,000 psi, making them more sensitive to contamination than spacecraft fuel systems. Yet a systematic fuel treatment protocol keeps them running perfectly for decades, while untreated systems destroy themselves within years. This isn't just adding fuel additives. This is precision contamination control that protects the most expensive and vulnerable components in your entire tractor. Today's common rail fuel injection systems operate with tolerances measured in microns, where particles smaller than human hair can destroy injectors, costing $800 each to replace. Using fuel additives, water separators, and systematic fuel tank cleaning creates the ultra-clean fuel environment these precision systems require to survive the extreme pressures and temperatures of modern diesel combustion. What makes fuel system purification truly critical is how today's high-pressure injection systems amplify tiny contamination problems into catastrophic failures that destroy entire fuel systems. Water droplets, smaller than pinheads, create internal corrosion that seizes injection pumps, while microscopic dirt particles act like grinding compound, wearing precision surfaces that cannot be repaired, only replaced at costs exceeding $15,000 for complete system replacement. The protocol is systematic and precise. Use quality fuel additives that prevent water accumulation and provide lubricity protection. Install and maintain water separators that remove moisture before it reaches injection components. Clean fuel tanks annually to remove accumulated sediment and biological growth that creates the contamination that kills injection systems. The results are absolutely remarkable. Tractors following systematic fuel purification protocols routinely achieve 20,000 plus hours without injection system problems, while neglected machines typically require major fuel system repairs by 8,000 to 12,000 hours when contamination damage accumulates beyond repair thresholds. The cost comparison is staggering. Spending $200 annually on fuel treatment and tank maintenance prevents injection system failures that cost $8,000 to $15,000 to repair, representing potential savings of 75 times the investment in prevention protocols. This purification approach transforms fuel system maintenance from reactive crisis management to predictive protection that keeps the most vulnerable tractor components running reliably for decades instead of failing prematurely due to preventable contamination problems. Hack number 3, the transmission oil analysis revolution. A $40 oil analysis every 500 hours provides a window into your tractor's internal health that predicts failures months before they happen, preventing catastrophic breakdowns that cost $25,000 plus to repair when transmissions, differentials, and final drives destroy themselves without warning. This isn't just checking oil condition. This is medical diagnosis for your tractor's most expensive internal components. Sending transmission oil samples to testing laboratories reveals microscopic metal particles, contamination levels, and additive depletion that indicate developing problems in gears, bearings, and seals before any symptoms appear during normal operation. These tests detect where metals measured in parts per million that signal bearing deterioration, gear tooth damage, and seal failures when there's still minor problems requiring hundreds of dollars to fix rather than complete component replacements. What makes transmission oil analysis truly revolutionary is how it transforms maintenance from reactive repairs to predictive prevention, allowing farmers to schedule repairs during off-seasons rather than suffering catastrophic failures during critical field work periods. The laboratory analysis identifies problems developing over thousands of hours, providing early warning systems that prevent the cascade failures that destroy entire drivetrains when internal damage reaches critical thresholds. The predictive power is absolutely incredible. Oil analysis reveals bearing where 6 months before components fail, gear damage developing over entire seasons, and contamination problems that would otherwise destroy expensive internal parts. Farmers using systematic oil analysis schedule maintenance based on actual component condition rather than arbitrary hour intervals that often miss developing problems. The economic impact is staggering. Transmission rebuilds typically cost $15,000 to $25,000 when components fail catastrophically, while problems detected through oil analysis can often be repaired for $500 to $2,000 during planned maintenance intervals. The $40 investment in testing prevents repair costs 500 times greater than the diagnostic expense. The operational benefits are enormous. Tractors maintained using oil analysis rarely suffer unexpected breakdowns, allowing farmers to complete time-sensitive operations without equipment failures that can cost thousands in lost productivity during critical farming windows. This scientific approach provides early warning systems that keep expensive internal components running reliably for 15,000 plus hours instead of failing prematurely when problems go undetected. Hack number 4, the Battery Terminal Protection Protocol. Electrical system failures destroy more modern tractors than mechanical problems. Yet a 10-minute monthly battery maintenance ritual prevents 80% of all electrical catastrophes that can total $200,000 machines instantly. This isn't just cleaning battery posts. This is electrical system insurance that protects every computerized component in your tractor from the voltage spikes and drops that destroy electronic control modules, costing thousands to replace. Modern tractors depend on perfect electrical connections to operate computerized engines, transmissions, and hydraulic systems that shut down completely when voltage drops below critical thresholds. cleaning battery terminals with baking soda solution, applying protective coating, and checking charging system voltage using a basic multimeter prevents the electrical fires, computer failures, and wiring harness destruction that strand farmers in fields during time-sensitive operations. What makes battery terminal protection truly essential is how modern tractors contain $10,000 to $15,000 worth of electronic systems that fail catastrophically when poor electrical connections create voltage fluctuations. Corroded battery terminals don't just reduce power gradually. They create resistance that generates heat, voltage spikes, and electrical arcing that can destroy engine control modules, transmission computers, and GPS guidance systems in seconds when connections fail under load. The maintenance protocol is simple but absolutely critical. Remove terminals monthly. Clean with baking soda solution to neutralize acid corrosion. Apply protective coating to prevent future oxidation, and test charging system voltage to ensure proper electrical system operation. These steps prevent the connection problems that create electrical chaos in modern computerized tractors. The cost prevention is staggering. Electronic control modules cost $2,000 to $5,000 each to replace, while complete electrical system failures can require $15,000 plus in repairs when voltage problems destroy multiple computers simultaneously. The $20 investment in battery maintenance materials prevents electrical disasters that can disable tractors for weeks during critical farming seasons. The reliability benefits are enormous. Clean electrical connections ensure consistent computer operation, reliable engine performance, and proper hydraulic system function that keeps tractors working productively instead of suffering the mysterious electrical problems that plague machines with neglected battery maintenance. This protection protocol provides electrical insurance against the connection failures that disable modern tractors when farmers need them most. Hack number 5, the cooling system pressure test. A monthly 10-minute pressure test prevents the overheating failures that destroy more tractor engines than any other single cause. Yet 95% of farmers never perform this simple check that could save them $30,000 plus in engine replacement costs. This isn't just checking coolant levels. This is thermal protection that identifies cooling system weaknesses before they cause the catastrophic overheating events that warp cylinder heads, crack engine blocks, and destroy complete powertrains in minutes. Using a basic cooling system pressure tester that costs $50 at any auto parts store, farmers can detect tiny leaks, weak radiator caps, and deteriorating hoses before they cause overheating cascades that destroy engines worth $25,000 to $40,000 in modern tractors. The test reveals problems invisible during normal operation that become catastrophic failures when engines operate under full load during critical field work. What makes cooling system pressure testing truly vital is how it reveals the microscopic leaks that allow air infiltration into cooling systems, creating hot spots that cause localized overheating even when temperature gauges show normal readings. Weak radiator caps that don't maintain proper system pressure reduce cooling efficiency by 30 to 40%, while deteriorating hoses fail catastrophically during peak operating temperatures when immediate engine damage occurs faster than operators can react. The testing process is beautifully simple but incredibly revealing. Connect the pressure tester, pump to manufacturer specifications, and watch for pressure drops that indicate leaks too small to see but large enough to cause cooling system failure. Check radiator cap pressure relief settings and inspect hoses under pressure conditions that reveal weaknesses invisible during normal operation. The prevention power is absolutely remarkable. Early detection through pressure testing identifies problems that cost $20 to $50 to repair before they become $30,000 engine replacements that leave farmers without equipment during critical planting or harvest seasons. The test reveals cooling system deterioration months before catastrophic failure occurs. The operational benefits are enormous. Tractors with properly maintained cooling systems operate at optimal temperatures that maximize fuel efficiency, reduce emissions, and extend engine life far beyond manufacturer expectations, while overheated engines suffer accelerated, where that destroys internal components within hours of thermal damage. This pressure testing protocol transforms cooling system maintenance from reactive crisis response to predictive protection that keeps engines running cool and reliable for decades. Hack number 6, the air filter inspection secret. A 2-minute daily ritual that most farmers completely ignore can prevent engine damage that destroys $30,000 worth of internal components through contamination so microscopic you can't see it with the naked eye. This isn't just changing filters when they look dirty. This is respiratory protection for your engine that prevents the abrasive particles that turn precision machine surfaces into scrap metal faster than most operators realize is happening. Inspecting air filter condition using the light test every morning before starting work, and changing filters based on actual contamination rather than arbitrary hour intervals prevents the microscopic dirt infiltration that causes cylinder scoring, ring wear, and turbocharger destruction in modern high-performance diesel engines. Today's turbocharged engines operate at intake pressures that can force particles smaller than talcum powder past compromised filters. What makes air filter inspection truly critical is how today's turbocharged engines create intake vacuum conditions that can pull contamination through filter media damaged by even minor handling mistakes or installation errors. These high-performance engines breathe enormous volumes of air under extreme pressure differentials that amplify tiny filter defects into catastrophic contamination events that destroy internal components within hours of dirt infiltration. The inspection technique is simple but reveals everything. Hold the filter up to bright light and look for any light penetration through the filter media. Check for damaged pleats or torn filter material, and inspect sealing surfaces for damage that allows unfiltered air bypass. These visual clues predict filter failure before contamination reaches engine internals. The protection results are absolutely spectacular. Engines protected by vigilant air filter management routinely reach 20,000 plus hours before requiring major overhauls, while neglected engines typically need rebuilds by 12,000 hours due to internal contamination damage that could have been prevented with daily 2-minute inspections that cost nothing but attention to detail. The economic impact is staggering. Air filters cost $50 to $150 each, while contamination damage requiring engine rebuilds costs $25,000 to $35,000 to repair. The daily inspection protocol ensures filters are changed based on actual condition rather than calendar schedules that often miss critical contamination threats. This inspection secret provides early warning of filter degradation that prevents the abrasive or that destroys expensive internal engine components when contamination bypasses compromised filtration systems. Hack number 7, the grease gun schedule revolution. The difference between tractors that last 30 years and those that fail after 10 comes down to a maintenance ritual that takes 15 minutes every 50 hours, but prevents 90% of all mechanical failures that destroy bearings, joints, and drivetrain components worth tens of thousands of dollars. This isn't just random greasing when you remember to do it. This is precision lubrication engineering that maintains the microscopic film barriers separating metal surfaces operating under extreme pressures and temperatures. Following a systematic 50-hour grease gun schedule that hits every lubrication point with specific grease types, rather than the haphazard greasing most farmers practice, prevents bearing failures, joint wear, and component seizures that typically cost $5,000 to $15,000 per incident to repair when neglected lubrication points destroy expensive mechanical components. What makes the grease gun schedule revolution truly essential is how it maintains the critical film barriers that prevent metal-to-metal contact in components operating under crushing loads and extreme temperatures. Missing even one greasing interval allows microscopic metal contact that creates irreversible wear, while over-greasing can blow seals and create contamination problems equally destructive to component longevity and requiring expensive repairs. The systematic approach transforms guesswork into engineering precision. Every bearing, universal joint, steering component, and pivot point receives proper lubrication at specific intervals based on operating conditions rather than calendar dates. This prevents the bearing failures that destroy transmissions, the joint wear that requires costly drivetrain repairs, and the seizures that strand tractors in fields. The longevity results are absolutely incredible. Tractors maintained with precise grease schedules regularly accumulate 15,000 plus hours without major drivetrain repairs, while randomly maintained machines typically require transmission or differential rebuilds by 8,000 hours when lubrication neglect allows, where that destroys expensive internal components. The cost prevention is remarkable. Systematic greasing costs $50 per year in materials while preventing component failures that average $10,000 plus to repair when bearings, joints, and drivetrain parts destroy themselves due to lubrication starvation that could have been prevented with consistent maintenance discipline. This schedule revolution transforms maintenance from random acts into systematic protection that keeps mechanical components running smoothly for decades, instead of failing prematurely when lubrication neglect allows destructive wear to accumulate. Hack number 8, the 5-minute hydraulic fluid flush. Let's start our countdown with a maintenance trick so simple that most farmers overlook it completely, yet it prevents the single most expensive tractor failure that destroys $50,000 worth of hydraulic components when contaminated fluid circulates through precision systems designed to tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. This isn't just changing hydraulic oil when it looks dirty. This is liquid system protection that prevents the cascade failures destroying pumps, valves, and cylinders across America's farmland. Using nothing but clean hydraulic fluid and a simple 5-minute drain procedure performed every 200 hours instead of the manufacturer's recommended 500-hour intervals, farmers can prevent hydraulic system failures that typically cost $15,000 to $25,000 to repair on modern tractors equipped with sophisticated hydraulic systems, controlling everything from steering to implement operation. What makes the 5-minute hydraulic flush truly revolutionary is how it removes the microscopic metal particles and heat-degraded fluid that accumulate in hydraulic systems faster than most operators realize. These contaminants act like grinding compound, destroying the precision machine surfaces in hydraulic pumps and valves that cannot be repaired, only replaced at costs exceeding many farmers' annual equipment budgets. The procedure is beautifully simple but incredibly effective. Drain the hydraulic reservoir completely, replace the filter, and refill with fresh fluid while the system is warm but not hot. This removes contamination before it reaches critical levels that cause the jerky operation, slow response, and overheating that signal impending hydraulic system failure. The protection results are absolutely spectacular. Farmers using this 5-minute flush technique report hydraulic components lasting 15,000 plus hours instead of the typical 4,000 to 6,000 hours before major repairs become necessary when contaminated fluid destroys expensive internal components that keep modern tractors operating efficiently. The economics are staggering. Spending $150 in fluid and labor every 200 hours to prevent hydraulic failures, costing $20,000 plus to repair when entire systems require rebuilding due to contamination damage that spreads throughout interconnected hydraulic circuits like mechanical cancer. This flush technique represents the foundation of hydraulic system longevity, proving that the most expensive tractor systems can be protected with the simplest maintenance procedures when performed consistently. These 8 proven techniques represent the difference between tractors that last 30 years and those that require major repairs every decade, proving that equipment longevity comes from understanding your machine rather than just operating it. From 5-minute hydraulic flushes that prevent $25,000 failures to daily PTO inspections that avoid catastrophic breakdowns, each procedure transforms maintenance from expensive emergency repairs to predictable prevention protocols that keep tractors running reliably for decades at a fraction of replacement costs. While equipment dealers profit from premature failures and constant upgrades, these time-tested methods prove that proper maintenance can extend tractor life far beyond manufacturer expectations. If you're ready to master the maintenance secrets that keep equipment alive longer and discover more money-saving techniques that could revolutionize your farm's equipment costs, Make sure to subscribe for proven methods that turn mechanical maintenance into profitable prevention. And don't miss the next video on your screen, where I reveal the equipment dealer secrets they don't want farmers to know about extending machinery life beyond what manufacturers design for plant obsolescence.